that there. It's like 5 people.
Going back there.
The SEC is hands down the toughest conference in college football, according to Fan Nation, an internet site ran by Sports Illustrated and CNN. While the Big Ten produces some good teams every year, without discussion, the Southeastern Conference is the best conference in the nation. Today I'm here to make the case that the SEC is not only the best conference in the nation, but similar to the last 2 years, it's going to produce the next national championship in 2008, the Florida Gators. The SEC has been, for much of the last decade, consistently producing 8 or 9 teams that would hang with the big dogs in any other conference. At times, it has even been compared to the baby NFL. You look down the list: LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida. These are all teams that consistently rank in the top 25. Just look at last year. You had LSU number 1, Georgia number 2, Tennessee number 12, Florida number 13, and Auburn number 15. Many would even make the argument that Georgia should have been in the national championship instead of LSU, and with a whopping 41-10 blowout over Hawaii, they definitely made their case. This brings me to my next point, that because the SEC is so talented, it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, for a great team to march through the regular season undefeated. Due to the structure of the SEC being broken up into Western and Eastern divisions, with the leader going to the championship game, it's hard to look over any lower-tier SEC foe. Teams like South Carolina and Arkansas may never get the chance to play in the championship, but they definitely have the possibility of upsetting a good team. With that being said, let me make my case why 2008 is the year for the Gators. First, I'll go through key stretches in their schedule, and then go through their great playmakers. For the 2008 season, Florida traded the nation's hardest schedule with the Georgia Bulldogs, not simply because they play different teams, but because of the way their schedule is set up. They begin the season with 2 non-conference games against Hawaii and Miami, respectively. These 2 teams aren't the traditional blowout, put the freshmen in at halftime games, but both are rebuilding schools and will give the Gators enough pressure to prepare for the next season, the SEC. Florida's 3rd game is in Knoxville against Tennessee, and is a game you could put down as an L next to it, but the Gators simply have too much talent to lose to a team that just lost its starting quarterback. The Gators have mostly second-tier teams for a few games, with LSU being somewhat of a challenge, but after losing 2 quarterbacks in the offseason due to graduation and expulsion, they're weak on offense. The last game of the season is a 50-50 one on November 1st against East Conference rival Georgia. The Gators will get the W here for a few reasons. One, in terms of talent, they are even. Yet the Dogs will be facing a healthy Tim Tebow, who won the Heisman Trophy in 2007, something no player on the Georgia roster has seen when he's healthy. They will also find themselves scrambling to cover an established running game, something Florida has lacked the last few seasons. Also, the game is being played in Jacksonville, essentially a home game for the Gators. Lastly, unlike Florida, who will be coming off a bye week and where they put the freshmen in at halftime literally, against Kentucky, they will be tired, broken after a stretch of games since late September of Arizona State, Alabama, Tennessee, LSU, and Baton Rouge prior to the game against Florida. The rest of the season will be fairly easy for the focused Gators, who will by this time be the established number 1 team in the nation. Looking at Florida's playmakers, you're looking at arguably the best team to ever walk onto the Florida field with a Florida uniform, and maybe the best team that Coach Urban Meyer's ever coached. Starting on the defensive side of the ball, you have middle linebacker Brandon Spikes, who in many preseason picks is All-American. They also have 2 sophomore 5-star athletes in Major Parker at free safety and defensive end Carlos Dunlap at defensive end, who is literally a freak of nature, weighing in at 290 pounds, standing 6'6", and running a 4.5 40-yard dash. That's crazy. Jumping over to the offense, we get to really see the potential of this team. Starting at quarterback, you have 2007 Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow. You have great running backs. Percy Harvin returns, probably the best playmaker in the nation. He's elusive, fast, and strong. The stable of wide receivers includes Lewis Murphy and Riley Cooper, a list of 5 or 6 players that could start on any SEC team. And then lastly, you have Cornelius Ingram and Aaron Hernandez. Again, Zeus among men. Both stand above 6'3" and weighing in over 230 pounds. While many actually question Ingram's decision to focus on football after he played on the basketball team for a year, I think he'll get the last laugh considering he's going to get 2 football rings. The Gators simply have too favorable of a schedule and return too much talent to be anywhere but the national championship game. I feel like it's only necessary to close with a remark made as modestly as possible by head coach Urban Meyer after the last spring game. We have 31 players with 3 more years of eligibility, and now 29 players with 4 years of eligibility. The future is awful bright, and I'm anxious to get back there and coach. Thank you.